Before we even start, don't forget down in the description there's gonna be a link to all the Mad Bio t-shirts and stickers. So check it out, let me know what you think about it, and let's get started with this video. How is it going, guys? It's Chucky from Mad Bio Reptiles, and today we're gonna talk about ambassador animals and what an ambassador animal really is. So an ambassador animal is an animal or an individual from a species chosen to educate people on that entire species. So that one single animal represents an entire species, just to bring awareness and educate people. So I chose Candy Paint to be one of my ambassadors. I chose George, Cupcake, and E.T. as my ambassador animals also. So when choosing an ambassador animal, if they're gonna be interacting with people a lot more, you want them to be tamed. Make sure they don't bite, make sure they won't cause any damage on people. Candy Paint represents snakes in general. People don't interact with snakes as much. So he represents all snakes, he represents ball pythons, and he also represents the beauty of snakes because these colors are not normally seen in the wild, and people don't normally see these animals ever. They don't even know they exist. Candy Paint is a female, and she will be an educational animal until she's big enough to start breeding. Once she starts breeding, I don't take females as ambassador animals because of course they grow follicles, they go through a lot of stress. I don't want to put them in more stress while they're being pregnant or even after that. I want them to be chill, have a chill time. So it's mostly males that I take as ambassador animals, and females I take them as ambassador animals at the beginning, and once they're big enough to breed, I keep them inside, or if they're too big, in general, I just don't take females. I'd rather take males as ambassador animals. So an ambassador animal doesn't have to be something tame. It could be something really aggressive or really dangerous. An ambassador animal doesn't have to be an animal that someone interacts with physically. It could be something that you look at the zoo, like an alligator or a crocodile, or even a lion, where you go and you visually interact with the animal from you know, a glass or a cage or whatever, because they represent their species and educate people even though they don't get to interact with the animal, just like we do with the ball python. Now that we know what ambassador animals are, let's show some bad ambassador animals for people to interact with. So let's show you guys some of these animals, and hopefully I don't get bit. So let's get it started. Alright, so this right here is my Texas rat snake. He does not make a good ambassador animals because he's so active. You see, people would get so freaked out at that, and he actually bites, and he will rattle his tail. As you guys can see, he bites. So he's not a good ambassador animal to take out and let people touch just because of this. So you guys can see he's, there you go. That's a bad, imagine a kid getting bit like that. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't cause any damage, but people will get really scared and think wrong of the whole species just because of this animal. As he grows, he will learn to be handled and things like that, but the babies are usually like this. Not aggressive, but defensive. He's trying to defend himself. He doesn't know if I'm gonna hurt him or not. A lot of people will confuse them for rattlesnakes also because they mimic the tail rattling sometimes. Let's see. So yeah, don't leave. This is an animal I would not use as an ambassador animal due to the fact that they're a little bit more skittish. They move around a little bit more, and not only that, that doesn't really matter much. A lot of people could take that, but a lot of people would still be scared because they move that much. The reason I would not make this an ambassador animal is because of the tail. The tail, if grabbed by accident, he could drop it and it does not grow the same, and that's where all the fat is stored. That's why the tail is so fat. The fatter the tail, the more healthier they are. So he would not make a good ambassador animal for that. I would only show this to more experienced people or people that want to see him inside the glass and things like that. Other than that, I would not make him an ambassador animal. Even though he's a beautiful animal, he's pretty chill, he's calm, he's friendly, but I would not like a kid to hold his tail and drop it because they do not grow the same at all. His name is Hex. He would not be an ambassador animal outside of my house. So people that come over to my house, of course, he's gonna be an ambassador for those people that come over. As you can see, he's pretty chill. Right, Hex? Right, Hex? His eyes are pitch black, which is what I like. So yeah, the tail does not regrow the same, so might as well not make him an ambassador animal and keep that tail nice, healthy, fat, and natural. So what's the point of ambassador animals? They help us be aware of endangered species in the wild. They help us face our fears. They help us educate kids. They help us educate adults. They help us educate everyone. They help us raise money for those endangered species to keep growing and people to keep working with these animals. So ambassador animals are really important. A lot of people ask, do they get stressed through this? A lot of animals can get stressed, but if you know your animal, you know when they're stressed, you know when they're not, and you know how to handle the animal. You know your animal, so you choose your ambassador animal because you know him, you know that he won't strike, you know that he is not stressed. If he seems stressed, of course you take him home and don't make him an ambassador animal because he just doesn't like that. Other animals enjoy that a lot better. So yeah, this is my video about ambassador animals. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys choose your ambassador animals and get to show me your ambassador animals. I want to see everyone's ambassador animals. So don't forget to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Matt Bio Reptiles. Deuces.